majority of homeowners in a potentially designated area to approve of the landmarking, or will 50%, as the LPC requires, suffice for you to support it and to take it to the city council?
Majority.
Kristen?
It's a one-word answer?
It doesn't have to.
I mean, I'm going to just take down to Broadway Flushing, that I'm most familiar with that area. I would like to see the majority, but I am all in favor of landmarking. I think Broadway Flushing is an absolutely stunning, stunning neighborhood. And as I said before, I think there is a majority, and I'm sorry that it hasn't gone there yet, because each and every day that passes brings you that much further away from actually having it landmarked. And I give kudos to the Broadway Flushing Homeowners Association for watching over and protecting.
Took so much extra time on that question.
I think 50% is the number in the question, so.
Yes.
50% of the majority.
Yes, I would support the continuation of the informal policy that the LPC has now of requiring a majority. I spoke about that before. I strongly support landmarking, but majority rule is just the basic to democracy and basic to the American way. I don't even support, as I said, elevating myself to the city council if I don't get the support of at least a plurality of voters. I will work to try to get the people in those affected districts. I will argue for landmarking. I will ring their bells, but ultimately it's got to be majority rule.
If we had majority rule, half of the neighborhoods that are landmarked in the city of New York would never have been landmarked. We wouldn't have Grand Central Terminal landmarked, we wouldn't have the Empire State Building landmarked, and we wouldn't have other neighborhoods that want to be landmarked. Broadway Flushing, 85% of the neighborhood wants to be landmarked, but as I said, when you have places like the Ailes House, or you have neighborhoods that have been artificially severed off, like the Douglaston Extension, there is no issue with the 50%. It deserves to be protected. We need to protect these neighborhoods for us and our future generations.
I think there can be some give and take when it comes to this issue, but basically I do support the idea of majority when it comes to landmarking, and I do think that is fundamental to democracy.
Thank you very much. Somebody from Whitestone asks, what would you like to see happen to the old CYO site in Whitestone?
I would like to see it become a city park, properly maintained, as a matter of fact.
I've been advocating it for 10 years to become fields, because actually Whitestone doesn't have too many actual athletic fields for its residents. And again, if it's cordoned off and fielded and it's closed at dusk like fields are supposed to be, it shouldn't be a problem, and we can save precious open space, 6 acres. Thank you.
I would agree. Parkland or sports facilities, certainly we can't lose any more open space and any parkland to develop.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing really more to add. It's been an absolute and complete agreement. It should be used as fields. It should be open spaces. As Christy said before, we're not making any more of it. We have to do the best with what we have. We have to continue to grow it. I think it should be used for athletic fields and open space parkland.
I stand firmly that we will not give open space to any type of development. So, as the other candidates have stated, I would like to see it a park for recreation for our families to enjoy.
Okay, the next 2 questions have to do with the same topic, and they touch very much on what we were just discussing, about the sale of parkland for private development. Do you see any reason to support the sale of private and of parkland to private enterprise?
Absolutely not. I sat through very, very long nights at CB7. I was opposed, and I will always be opposed. I stick with that. We will never get it back. We cannot give it up.
The answer is no. We're not making any more of it. We shouldn't give it up. We won't get it back.
I certainly agree. No parkland in this district should be turned over for development.
It's not about parkland in this district. As the co-founder of Save Flushing Meadows Corona Park, we were the only group on record to oppose all of the privatization proposals that affect over 50 acres in Flushing Meadows Park, including the USTA, the soccer stadium proposal, and the mall that they want to build next to City Field. There's absolutely no room in this city to take away our public parkland and give it over to private people. It shouldn't be done, and the deals that are being made just have to stop.
Our parkland is sacred, and I will never allow any of the parkland to be given to private developers.
Thank you very much. The next question says, what preservation or conservation organizations have you been affiliated with over the last 4 years?
Okay, I've been affiliated with the Alley Pond Environmental Center, the Udall's Cove Preservation Committee, the Nature Conservancy, Little Neck Douglaston Historical Society, Queens Historical Society. I'm probably skipping a couple, but that's good enough for now, I guess.
Well, I was the president of the Historic Districts Council, as we said before, through 2009, and no, I did not leave under a cloud. I was then the first vice president for the year after that in 2010. I have been an advisor to the Douglaston Little Neck Historical Society. I'm an advisor to the Bayside Historical Society, and I've been involved in, again, going back 20 years, but in the last 4 years, many, many other organizations, both civic and historical and open space organizations. Thank you.
As I mentioned, I'm a vice president of the Douglaston Civic Association. I'm not sure if we qualify as a preservation society, but we've worked very strongly against development proposals in Douglaston. My wife, Jane Stewart Safran, is on the board of the Little Neck Douglaston Historical Society, and I guess I'm a member of the Udall's Cove Preservation Committee.
I've spent the last 10, almost 12 years working in public service in the city, state, and federal level. I'm not a member of any local preservation or conservation societies. Again, I don't want to be disingenuous. I have worked with a number of them in my governmental capacity. I've also worked with the League, and I've also worked with various historical societies in the city and around the state. I'm proud of the work that I've done in public service, but I have not been a member of, nor am I now a member of any conservation societies. Give me the honest answer.
To be honest, too, nor am I. Other than being very fond and enjoying them with my family and children, I am not affiliated with any of them. However, over the last 3 years in the council, I can tell you that we did everything we could to give these institutions and historical societies as much funding as we possibly could, and worked with some private companies to try to see if we could get additional funding to help them prosper and keep their doors open as well.
Thank you. We're going to ask 2 more